the health system.
He like never left. The companies kept changing. I started in 81.
A lot of people may not have noticed that, but he's not one of us.
I'm certainly not one of them. I just want to qualify that.
Yeah.
What is the biggest difference between radio in Australia and radio here?
The size of our radios.
They listen on the other side of the radio.
We've got bigger batteries.
They drive on the
And
other side of the road.
our stereo comes out of the opposite side of the speakers.
Yeah.
Is it the size or just the way it plays?
Until they flush the toilet, of course.
Does it really swirl backwards, David?
And I'm doing mornings, so I would go to bed about 9 o'clock at night and get up at 4 in the morning, and I got a telephone call maybe about 10 or 11 at night. And I barely remember this phone conversation, and this man, but I do remember him saying, "You sound like you're asleep. I'm going to hang up.
Very receptive.
I'll call you back." Yeah. He says, "I'll call you back. Go wash your face and splash some water. I want to talk to you about working in L.A." And I went, "Okay," and he hung up. And now I'm awake, and I'm thinking, somebody called me and talked about working in L.A. and they're going to call me back. And I'm like splashing water on my face, and they didn't call right back. And I'm like sitting out of my living room waiting for the phone to ring. And I'm saying to Doris, "No," and Doris is gone. "Who was it?" I'm like, "I'm not sure."
And I found out all about Mike, and the one thing about Mike that I thought was very special was his appreciation for working with air talent. Because, you know, the music stuff is one thing, but the thing that can really give you the edge no matter what kind of music you're playing is having great air talent. Great air talent will allow you to play a greater variety of music, hold listeners longer. Great. And Mike understood that, and he had a great appreciation. So he knew, you know, like we said, he came to L.A. and he knew who Jack Armstrong was, and he appreciated who Jack Armstrong was. It's exactly the kind of person I needed working with the talent.
By the way, great brands. Look at this fashion plate.
Are you liking them? I'm all about them.
Wow. Best job you ever had.
The one I have now.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
No, best station job you ever had.
No, best.
For me, it would be 10Q. For me, it would be 10Q.
Well, I was doing 10Q and WHN at the same time, and that would absolutely be the best of both worlds, New York and LA.
92 growing up there for 7 years. It was a challenge, but it was awesome. Awesome. I love the people of New England.
Launching a new AM station in 1979. First one in 30 years.
I still have it. It's still there.
Good
I
call,
only have one
Bob.
job.
Think carefully, Daniel.
Definitely McVay meeting. Definitely McVay.
Very diplomatic.
Best job ever.
Now you get diplomatic immunity, of course.
Besides umpiring, you mean? It had to have been WBRU. That's when it was fun. That's when radio was a lot of
Ooh,
fun.
BRU.
Yeah, loved it.
They opened a time capsule at Providence City Hall in 1975 and didn't recognize anything in there. Rusted stopwatch.
How long had it been there?
75 years. Deteriorated documents, and they were going to refill it and seal it again for another 75 years. And I was the music director at WPRO, and they called over and said, "Could you send us the #1 song?" And I said, "Sure, but I don't know what they're going to do with it in 75 years." So I sent this final 45 RPM wafer, and I tucked in the Pro Music survey for that week, and I thought, what a wonderful message to send into the future. Even though they won't know what to do with it, they will get that this was a piece of music. They won't have anything to play it on, but they'll see the survey. They'll know that it was #1. And when they're trying to figure out who we were back in 1975, that the most popular sentiment we were sharing was, "Love will keep us together." That I miss.
This guy obviously can't see.
They've stopped chewing.
I'm sorry.